Avy Meyers, Northtown Neighborhood News Magazine, a presentation of Sonny Hirsch and myself. Web, ntnm.org, community policing. The schedule for the 2014 meetings for the 2410 sector, which is West Rogers Park, are out. If you go to caps24.org, you can see them. It is a pleasure to introduce you to the multiple titles here. He's the rabbi of the Des Plaines Chabad House. He's the founder and executive, chief executive of Camp Gan Yisrael. And also, in my congratulations on being the very first humanitarian award winner of the Decalogue Society's Judge Gerald Bender Award, who is somebody who has been on the show and somebody we were very fond of. And I'm talking about Rabbi Binyomin Scheiman. Rabbi Scheiman, how you doing?
Fine, thank God. Thank you for having me.
First of all, thank you very much. And, you know, people don't, a prison chaplain, I mean, that's such an interesting subject. In the days of Jewish Chicago in the 80s, we even ran a feature article about you, which is such a, how did you decide to do something like that?
Well, it didn't come about in an ordinary way. I came here to Chicago to work as the first Chabad rabbi after Rabbi Moskowitz was here.
Yeah.
And he said, find things to do that don't cost money. The salary will be hard enough to raise. And within 3 weeks of me being here, a gentleman called from Crown Heights and said, can you go to the Joliet prison? I have a business associate. His son is in prison. I want to make sure he gets grape juice and he gets matzah. So that was my first introduction to prison. And then something along the way clicked, and a number of events came along where I got further involved and further involved. And as you know, the purpose, Hanukkah, obviously we light lights.
Yeah.
The purpose of at least the school of thought that I come from, taught by the Lubavitch Rebbe,
Right.
is to light lights of Jews wherever they may be. And I felt a real challenge to go to the darkest places, to go to the places where it's hardest to light. I found a real challenge, and I get a big kick out of going way down south into a maximum security prison where it's very, very depressing, seeing a man when nobody else would go, and then giving that person a bit of light and hope in their life.
No, and in the, you know, when Alcatraz closed, they put it in Illinois. So that you're talking like, you know, really tight security, worst possible cases.
Correct.
So you get a very interesting group of people. I mean, how often do you go visit people in prisons?
I would estimate that there is 100 to 125 people in the state of Illinois. That's 4 federal prisons, 25 state prisons, and up to 3 or 4 different county jails I see. This morning I actually came from the Arlington Heights police station as well. My goal is to reach every single Jewish man and woman once a month. And my son, who joined me in the work, and by the way, I named my organization after my wife of blessed memory, who passed away 7 months ago. We're now called the Hinda Institute, which is an acronym for Helping Individuals Ascend.
Very nice.
So one of my sons moved to Carbondale, and he visits about 15 of the prisons in southern Illinois, and I stay up over here. I have another son of mine working with the reentry program and with the families that are suffering through the entire incarceration, the children of the men and women that are away, to find avenues for them to continue living as normal as possible a life.
No, that's terrific. I do know people over the course of time, you know, that have been beneficiaries of what you've done. As a matter of fact, when you used to put out a newspaper that I produced for you, there's a very interesting gentleman who was your chief assistant at the time that was very enjoyable to work with. And you know, one time I just made a like it was supposed to be a stupid joke, saying, you know, nice guy for a XX felony. And you said, no, it was this felony. And I was like, what? But boy, he changed. I'll give you a lot of credit.
Yes.
How's he doing these days?
All of my fellows are doing well.
Yeah.
They're all adjusting. I just had a very sad story this morning. That's why I have a man who's out maybe a half a dozen years now, went to yeshiva, has a beard, goes and prays, has a yarmulke, really leading a good life. And he was stopped this morning in Skokie on a traffic light, and some of his old warrants from 10 years ago were never cleaned up. So that's why I had to visit him in the lockup. Hopefully his attorney thinks he'll be able to get it all cleared out. But, I mean, he's doing well, but these things come back and haunt you years later.
Yeah, so best not, don't do, what do they say? Don't do the crime if you can't afford the time or whatever.
Correct.
Yeah, better not to do it at all. That's for sure. Now, also, why don't you tell us also about the Chabad House in Des Plaines?
Well, that's very interesting why we moved over there. Rabbi Moskowitz decided that we had many, many children from Camp Gan Israel that lived in that neighborhood. I think your brother may have been at a school out there, the Morton Grove Community Hebrew
Morton
School.
Grove, correct.
And
yeah.
we had many children from that
He
neighborhood.
was the principal for a while.
Correct.
Yeah.
And then we decided, well, we have so many families, why not have a center there, a Chabad center?
Yeah.
That's why I moved there. We started in my basement, and this past year, just 1 year ago, we finished a very, very beautiful remake of the entire building we have. It's stunning. It's really beautiful.
Nice.
And right now, we are the only remaining Jewish entity in that neighborhood. All the other synagogues have merged, have moved on, and we are there, but we're strong, and people are even moving into the neighborhood.
Oh, that's terrific. And, I know myself, it's funny because I interview a lot of judges, and there's an amazingly large number of Jewish judicial candidates in and around that area.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we can, I'll give you some notes afterwards. But, and on top of that, and we've only got about a minute to go, actually, not even, no, we're fine. Where is the Chabad House in Des Plaines located?
We're located on 9401 Margell, which is right in between Potter and D Road. And if anybody would like to know what we do with the prison program, they could go to hindahelps.com, and there's newsletters we have, there's articles I post over there. People can follow me on Twitter and on Facebook and check out where I travel throughout the state.
Yeah, that's, as a matter of fact, where you re-engaged me was on Facebook, and now I only twit about the show, but I saw that you're following my twits now.
Yes.
Oh, and you know what? We've got about a minute here, so I also want you to talk about the camp that you founded in the area, Camp Gan Yisrael.
Camp Gan Israel, actually, I did not, Rabbi Moskowitz founded it a few years before I did, but as it was growing, that was one of the initial main job I was here for, was to run the camp, and I'm glad to say it's a very successful camp. We're all over. We have many divisions of the camp. We even have now an extreme teen, 15 to 18-year-olds. They do a travel camp out west. Beautiful, beautiful program, and it's really grown over the years, and it's quite successful. It's based in Northbrook right now, the main campus.
No, very nice. And as a matter of fact, I accidentally ran into your son over at Rabbi Smallshul.
Yes.
And I guess he's the one who's doing most of the hands-on right now?
Yes, yes. And the winter camp starts in a couple of weeks for the kids during the winter break vacation.
Oh, very nice. I didn't know. That's terrific. So once again, if people want to contact Camp Gan Yisrael,
they would go to GanIsraelChicago.com.
GanIsraelChicago.com. So, it's been our pleasure to have the very first Decalogue Society, which is the Association of Jewish Lawyers, Humanitarian Award winner, Rabbi Binyomin Scheiman. Michael Strom always speaks very highly of you, by the way, the past president of the Decalogue Society, who's running for judge right now. And, the rabbi of the Des Plaines Chabad House, and the executive chief cook bottle washer whose son actually runs Camp Gan Yisrael. If people want to contact you?
They should go to rabbi@jpafil.org, and they could send me an email, or just go to hindahelps.com and push the contact button.
Rabbi Binyomin Scheiman, thank you very much, and good luck in your work.
You're welcome.